My name is Laura Clark, and I'm one of the senior psychologists here. So I've worked with our director for over 28 years, and that has been a really great, wonderful journey. And I work with people for many, many different reasons and of all ages. So the youngest I ever worked with was 2.5, and the oldest was 85. And I work with individuals and couples, sometimes families. So that is a big part of what I do. And then I also do assessment. So we call them a learning function assessment or a psychoed assessment. So we will do an IQ test or an ability test and also an academic test, sometimes some personality tests or just looking for emotional behavioral things, just to see where are people at and what do they need and how can we help them in their learning environment or their work environment. And maybe they need some extra accommodation, so we can write a report and say, here's what this person needs to be really successful in what they're doing. So I've done lots of work in schools, worked all over Alberta in different school settings, and that's been a really interesting thing to help people. Currently, I'm doing way more counseling than assessment and just really enjoying helping people, helping them be healthy, feel happier, have a better life, and feel stronger in who they are. So in my work with people, I think the most important thing is relationship, that people really feel like you care about them and you're interested in them. I really want to build that relationship very quickly and to have my office be a really safe place, because I know it's hard. It's hard to come in and have people talk about the hardest things in your life. Sometimes people come in and they sit down and they start crying. We haven't even started talking, and sometimes they can't even sleep the night before because they're scared. So I want people to feel very safe, to have my office be a sanctuary for them. And that's a big part of who I am. I am just a safe person. So relationship, I think, is the very central part of therapy. And there's been lots of research, what's the most effective strategy? But really it is about relationship and connection. And then I'm always focusing on what is the strengths? What are the strengths that this person has? And how can we build from those? What do they already have? What do they already know? Who are they? And we can use that to think of ways to help them in the most effective way. So those are the underneath things I'm always doing. And then there's different types of therapy that I do. So something I use probably 80% of the time is EMDR. The whole big term is a big mouthful. So eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing. So I use that to help people with trauma. And many people have lots of old trauma it's heavy. It's hard to carry that around with them. And they need a way to process that and to feel better and to feel lighter. And I also use EMDR to help people just to relax and to have their body feel relaxed and to have a quiet mind. So that is very powerful and very amazing. EMDR, I've done it 24 years, and it is still like a miracle in my office. Very exciting. And that's a big approach to what I do. And embedded within that is cognitive behavioral therapy. So looking at what you're thinking about and how does that affect your emotions and your behavior, and kind of untwisting the beliefs that aren't healthy or really aren't true and don't make sense. And then I also will use strategies just to help people manage their stress, feel really relaxed, just feel better. And my goal is that when people come, that they would feel better even when they leave, that they would like, I feel lighter. I feel like I have more energy. I feel more relaxed. So that's my short-term goal. And then long-term, I want people to be healthier and happier and just be the best version of who they are and be who they were created to be.